You're watching Surviving in Alabama.
Man, it's hot. I was doing a video today about renovating my chicken coop, which you're going to see. But as I went out there, I found a bullet hole next to my chickens. And it went through a post, and went through my chicken pen, through a post, towards my shop. And it wasn't there the other day. I didn't see it. So anyway, y'all stay tuned. See all about it. Welcome back to Surviving Alabama, guys. Today, I've got all these lingering projects. So today, it's gonna be chicken coop makeover. So this project's been lingering over my head for a while. When I built that coop, I left the top half of it open, thinking that was a good idea. And it probably would have been fine for like turkeys, but I thought it was a good idea because it's hot in the summertime. And so I ended up, in the wintertime, I ended up having to cover it up with plastic because, you know, the rain blows in on them. And then we don't want them, chickens can be wet and then they can be cold, but they can't be wet and cold. So that's what hurts chickens, especially the little ones. It'll kill them. All right, so I've got that chicken coop I'm gonna totally make it over. I'm gonna wall up these sides. I'm gonna leave gaps so it gets air, but I'm gonna wall up these sides, and then I'm gonna rebed it, redo the roosting bars in there, and I think I need just a few more because I've got, let's see, 2 geese and 9 chickens in there. It's probably fine, but I'm just gonna add a little bit to it. So I'm gonna finish that whole project today, with the exception of I am going to put a gutter on the back side of it, and then I'm gonna add a barrel for a rain barrel. And I'm gonna do all that this week. So then next week, because I gotta go out of town, next week's big project is the greenhouse. It's gonna happen. So that's all I'm gonna do. Next week I'm gonna get this whole thing ready to skin, and I'm gonna have it ready to go. So when my help comes, then that's all I gotta do is skin it. So I'm gonna have it all ready to go. I'm gonna get in all the grass, because grass grew up in the rocks inside, and I'm gonna get all that out of there. I already weeded it just the other day, and it's time to weed it again because we had a little bit of rain. And so anyway, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button. I'm doing all kinds of mess. I mean, just literally all kinds of stuff. So it's just not one thing over here. All right. This is what I'm doing. Let's get to it. One more thing before I get to measuring and cutting and cleaning and all that. So I have had some predators lately. In the last week, I've caught 2 coons and a possum. Well, I had the trap set out. I've just left the traps set out, and I'm moving these meat birds right here. I think they're on week number 14 right now, maybe 15, and they are giant. And so I did a video a while back, a short about these birds for Thanksgiving. Let me show them to you real fast. Look how big they are. I mean, that is a big bird. And that one's a little bit smaller, but it's still a giant bird. That one is giant. And they are going to go to the freezer camp real soon. Hopefully if I can get this chicken coop done today, I might do this tomorrow. So I need to make up my mind here real soon before I feed them, because if they're going to go to freezer camp tomorrow, I can't feed them today. So I got to get busy. But these birds, they're the biggest birds I've ever seen. I have never seen a chicken this big before. I mean, it's real. They're big. And my wife does not like turkey, which I like turkey. I like rabbit. I'll eat squirrel. I don't care. I'll eat it. I've never eaten a coon. I've never eaten a possum or anything like that. I try to eat the normal stuff, but I probably would if somebody else cooked it. If they knew how to do it correctly. A long time ago, I was watching Patera on Appalachia's Homestead on her channel, and she caught a possum in her chicken pen, and she cooked it and ate it. Well, I'm not above doing that, but I don't think she let that meat rest, and I was like, it don't look good to me. So, and she cooked it over an open fire. I got to get to this build, but by the way, when it cools off a little bit, we're gonna do some campfire cooking. That's kind of my plan. I've got this Dutch oven thing, and I've got some. I have a grill that's a campfire stove grill from, I think it's 1896. It's designed to fit in a saddlebag. It's a really small cast iron grill. I don't have the lid for it, but it's still functional the way it is. I've never used it, and I paid $40 for it on the marketplace. And when I saw it, I knew what it was, but I'd never had one. So, and I've had this thing, and it's actually, here it is. I'll show it to you. That's it right there. So the grate for it is actually sitting out on my picnic table over there by where we have campfires. So I just thought it'd be cool to do that. And I wanted to be able to cook. It's only big enough, you could probably put 2 steaks on it, and that's it. And maybe 4 or 5 hamburgers. It's not very big at all. But I thought it'd be cool. Hey, and so I want to do some outdoor cooking. Hope that you'll come along and join me. And let's get on this build. We got to do an extreme makeover on this chicken coop today. All right. The very first thing I got to do is, see, I put these pallets up in here, and if I can talk over these geese, I don't know. I don't know if we'll be able to do it. They got pallets here and a pallet here. I got to take these pallets out. Then, see, I've got this plastic stuff I'd put up for over the winter time, which it's August. It should have way been off. But the storm blew 3 sides of it off. So anyway, like I said, it's way past time. So I'm gonna get these pallets down, and then we're gonna take this plastic. Then I'm gonna take some measurements. So I was taking this down. I was taking this pallet down, and when I laid it down, I don't know if you can see that up in there, but man, there was a big old wasp nest come out, and they come out on me, but they didn't get me. But I didn't want to get trapped inside here, so I had to get out. There it is, right there. Anyway, I don't know, man. There was a bunch of wasps come up out of there. While I'm working out here today and burning up and about to spontaneously combust, and I want to say it's about 8 o'clock, a little after 8 o'clock right now, and it's already scorching. But they're just going to be loud, and I think I'm just going to let them out, and hopefully they don't get on those San Marzano tomato plants I have. Maybe they won't get on them. But the okra and stuff like that, see, I got all this big okra, they ain't gonna hurt that. All right, as you can see, I've taken down the pallets, I've taken down the plastic that was on here, and you can see that's what it was originally. That's what it looked like. And so I only boarded up on the bottom half. So half of it was wire, half of it was boards, and that was to protect them. But yeah, I had the idea. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it open in there and they'll get out of the weather, but the wind and the rain blows in on them. So it was a good idea, but it just didn't work. So I'm gonna border up 3 sides of this with boards. I'm gonna leave that front part with the door. It's just gonna be wire, and this is gonna be a lot better. I took them pallets out of there. Now I have to go find some lumber, and I've got this big giant pile of lumber that I bought from Cole Lumber from Lowe's, and I'm gonna go pick through it and see what I can find. All right, you see all this right here? All this. I bought all this lumber for like $120. I bought one big pile, or I bought that pile for $75, and then I bought that pile for like, I don't know, like 50 bucks, something like that. So I'm gonna have to pick through here. There's good lumber in here. It's just all not, they couldn't sell it because they had blemishes on it. Sometimes what I like to do is, see, I got 4 boards here, and I'm gonna cut all 4 of them because they're gonna be the same length. Instead of doing one at a time, I'm gonna do 4 at a time. You just have to make sure they're lined up right. Forgot to plug it in. There we go. I was gonna use those decking boards, but these 1x4s right here, these 1x4s, they're treated. And I just need something to hold it up. And I think what I'll do is I'll put a brace on it. And I think it's gonna be fine, to be honest with you, because I don't need anything to hold anything structural. It's just gonna be to block the wind. And it'll be strong either way, but I was gonna use those decking boards, but I got so many of these 1x4s that I could do the whole thing out of 1x4s, and I think it's gonna be fine. And I can leave little gaps in there too. So I'm gonna look at that when I hold it up there and look at it. All right, so I put a band up. See, I just banded it with treated 1x4s. I just needed something to hold up the vertical siding because the structure's already sound. So that's what it looks like right there. I got all this banding on. So then you see how those right there, those boards are run vertical. They're up and down. Just a quick tip. The reason that you want to run siding like that vertically is because it sheds the water. So if you will look at a house that has lap siding that runs horizontal, that means side to side, they're laid down sideways. Well, they're continually having to paint and do maintenance on them, and you know that they have rotten boards happen. I mean, it lasts a while, it does, and it looks good, it really does. But if you go back to the old time, if you've ever seen a barn that was like 150 or 200 years old, and they didn't have treated wood back then, and all they did was saw it and stick it up, they run those boards. You see the boards were vertically, so they were run up and down. And that thing they'll last a long time. Okay, so on my band, the length is, my boards are gonna be 3 feet long, so I've got to get cutting. I need several, I don't even know how many I need, but I need several cut 3 feet. So I'm gonna get to cut. All right, so I cut several. I'm pretty sure that's not enough, but I got several, so I'm gonna start putting the siding on, if they'll be quiet, and then we'll film it, or part of it anyway. Taking my first board right here, and I'm gonna lay it just like so. So then I'm gonna take a level. Now I want to make sure it's level, so when I start nailing, then it'll be level with the other ones, and it won't look crooked or anything. And if it starts looking crooked, you can always adjust while you're going. So then we use this brad nailer, just like so. Let's get another one. We'll just start going with it. And then so every so often I'll stop and check myself. And I'll just keep going with it. Just keep on doing it. Now, using this brad nailer, when you're putting up fencing planks or privacy fence, I use them on these chicken pens, all these chicken pens and stuff like that. And I use the crown stapler part to put wire up. So it just makes it so much easier, because if you've ever done this by hand, it takes a long time. I can do it with this a pneumatic nailer. I also have a framing nail gun. You can do it, the pneumatic nail gun, about 4 times faster than if you was doing it by hand. So it definitely speeds it up. So I ran out of boards, which I already knew that was gonna happen. I didn't know how far it would go because I didn't measure it and figure it out. I could have done it, just done a little simple math, but I just knew I was gonna need a lot. And I started to put a thin gap in between each one of these boards, but they're gonna dry up a little bit and probably gap a little bit anyway. Not a lot, but some. But so I was thinking about it while I started nailing. See, I got this air gap right here, and this right here is going to keep the sun off of them, keep the rain and cold off of them. And this is what it's going to look like. Hang on, I'll turn you around. So that's what it's going to look like. And I'm just going to go all the way around 3 sides with it. And so this is what it'll look like on the inside, which I can go on and tell you it's cooler in here. So I think this is going to work out for the rain and the cold, and also for the heat, because of the way I have it. See, I've got the gap up there. I think this is going to work out just fine. And so when I get through, I'm going to clean out the bedding. It's time to do that. I try to clean out the bedding about every 2 or 3 weeks. I generally don't let it go any further than that, but even in the wintertime, sometimes in the winter I'll just put bedding on top of bedding and get thick, and then that way when springtime comes I'll use it in the garden. But for the most part, yeah, 2 or 3 weeks I'll clean it out, and it's time. So that's my little roosting spot that I have, and I don't quite think that that's enough. I think it needs to be longer. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some I'm gonna take these up and maybe put some 2x2s in here and just go the full length, maybe 8 foot across, and that'd give them way more than enough. So while I've been out here working, let me show you something. Since I've been out here working, I noticed something. Let me show you. See that right there? Can you see that through the... Can you see that? That's my post. Can you see that? Let me show you the back side. I'll walk out. That's the back side of that post. Now look up in there. Can you? Now look at that. See? See how it's a small hole in, a big hole out? That's a bullet hole. For sure. That's what it is. I have no idea where it came from. It wasn't me. I do shoot out here, but when I do, it's generally behind my house, which is completely other side of the property, facing another way. I don't know if it's stray bullet from whatever. I have no idea, but that's for sure what that is. And apparently it had to come, it went through the chicken pen. through the wire and hit that post. Best I can figure. And I don't know how long it's been like that because if you see right here behind me, I'm out here watering. I'm watering these things out here, you know, or I was before I let them go because they were petered out for the year. But these rattlesnake beans, I watered them pretty much every day or every other day, and I never noticed it. I was looking at the plastic. It don't look like it's been that long. I mean, it looks like it's pretty fresh. I have no idea though. Who knows? It looks like it came through the chicken pen, hit the post, and probably wound up out here somewhere. Could probably check my building, see if it hit my building. It sure could have been the way it looked like it was facing. See, in my mimosa tree I got to get down. That thing comes back all the time. I cut it down twice a year most of the time. But it would be somewhere. I don't know. I'm looking at it. It probably would be up in here somewhere. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have hit the building, but looks like it might would have hit the worms, but I don't see nothing. Probably just hit the dirt. All right, just thought I'd show y'all the bullet. I mean, right before I filmed it, showing it to you. I mean, just a few minutes before that is when I saw it. I have no idea. All right, got to get back to it. So, as you can see, I've done 2 sides, and I'm working on the 3rd. So I'm working on it. Fixing to cut some more boards, and we're gonna keep on with it. But I sure wish I knew when that happened, because that's for sure a bullet hole. I just don't know. I don't know what happened. So there I was. I'm out here working, and I'm like, what in the crap is this? What is right there? That's a bullet hole. That's what I was like, man. Oh man. Sure wish I knew what happened. Before I get any further, I just remembered that I was out here literally like, well, maybe 3 or 4 days ago or so, and I heard some shooting back there. And I wonder if that's what happened. I have no idea. But could have been. They didn't sound like they were super close, but sure could have been. I don't know. Could have been a stray. Hey, glad I wasn't out there working by that post when that happened. Anyway, all right, I got to keep cutting boards. So if you remember what it looked like when I first started, it looks 1,000% better. I've walled up 3 sides, big improvement. I still got to put a more roosting on and then change the bedding, but I don't think I'm gonna change the bedding today. I'm getting really tired. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I got to go edit this video. Let me walk you around real fast. Okay, let me back up. So if you remember what it looked like before, that is not what it looks like now. Of course, it looks a little odd because the wood is not the same wood on the top as the bottom, and the wood on top is newer because this pen is 3 years old, I guess. And you know, it'll eventually fade and kind of match, but it's still okay, and it's certainly good enough for a chicken. So it's got, like I said, it's got vent up top all the way around, and this is what it looks like on the inside. So open the door. I used to feed them right there. Now I feed them over there because I did keep them cooped up in here for a while. So it's a lot better, and it's going to block everything for the wintertime, and I think it may keep it cooler in the summer. I'm not sure, but the vent's sure for help. Look at those wasps right there. That's those wasps that come out on me a while ago. But this is what it looks like. I've still got to put more roosting on. That's probably going to be another day. Well, I don't know. I might just do it right now. Let me see what I got. But I got to wrap this video up. So that's an old nesting box I got to replace. This is an old nesting box. It's still good. So you can see right there, nobody's laying in it right now because all these chickens are young. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I was going to title this video Extreme Home Makeover Chicken Coop Edition. But since I found a bullet hole and somebody was shooting at my chickens, you know, I'm sure unexpectedly, people shoot around here. But I guess I'm gonna have to title it Somebody's Trying to Shoot My Chickens. I don't know. But I was sure way surprised to see that bullet hole where it was, because I mean that's towards my house, that's towards my shop, and that's towards where my animals are and where I stay. And my kids out here and grandkids and everything else. So I hope whoever shot it would be more mindful of where they're shooting. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I really appreciate y'all coming along, staying with me today. As you can see, I am hot. I'll see y'all next time. God bless.